Hi everyone, I'm Robin Gregory from the Northern Integrated Family Violence Services team, and I'd like to start by acknowledging that I'm recording this interview on the land of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and to pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and any Aboriginal people watching this interview. This is part of the Service System Overview series, and it's my great pleasure to welcome Maria from the Salvation Army to talk about the After Hours service. Welcome, Maria.
Thank you very much, Robin.
And firstly, could you give us a brief overview about what your service does and who can access the After Hours service?
Absolutely. So our service is called NCARS, the Northern Crisis Advocacy and Response Service. It's through the Salvation Army, our suite of programs under the Family Violence Crisis and Support Services, North and Metro. It's for victim survivors of family violence that require an after-hours crisis response. That crisis response can take the form of face-to-face or over the phone, and our specialist family violence staff can actually go to the place where the victim survivor is located in. That may be a motel, it could be a police station, it could even be at a hospital.
Great, thanks for that. And could you talk more about what your clients could expect from a response?
They would get emotional support from the specialist family violence workers, risk assessment and safety planning, material aid support if that's required, support to talk through options and choices they can make, including the court system, intervention orders, etc. It could also be about supporting them to organise accommodation for that particular night. If they can't go back home that time, they can also refer to other specialist services of what is available the very next day, such as cultural support services, longer-term case management services, refuge accommodation, etc.
So who can refer to your service?
Because it is specifically for the northern region. It's specifically for women and children, victim survivors, and Safe Steps as the statewide organisation refers into our service, because that is the crisis line across the state for victim survivors after hours, as well as the police, hospitals, and then we've also got local partnerships with two specific agencies in the northern area, the Orange Door in Heidelberg, as well as Berry Street Family Violence Services.
Great. And I mean, the Marin framework highlights the importance of secondary consultation with specialist family violence services. So does the after hours services play a role in workers being able to consult?
Absolutely. So if there is a service provider or service that's actually running or operating after hours, and it's not so much a specialist family violence service, but they need to be able to do a consultation, a specialist consultation, they can definitely contact our after hours service to talk through the situation and be able to get some information and advice. Definitely we're available for secondary consultations to other sectors.
That's great. And thinking about your client group and, those who would need an after-hours kind of crisis response, what should workers be aware of when supporting that client group? What advice would you have?
Basically, because our service is a crisis service, it's been aware about the fact that it's about immediate needs. It's not about the longer term needs. So it's about making sure clients are safe. They've got somewhere to stay for the night. They've got all their immediate material needs met, such as, clothing for the children, baby formulas for the children, because in most cases it's for clients have actually left immediately, and once they've actually fled the family home, they haven't had time to plan it or prepare it to be able to take items with them. So it's a very immediate crisis-based face-to-face service, as well as telephone support if needed as well.
Demand on the service system is huge. So what happens if your service can't assist a victim survivor that's referred to you?
First of all, I would like to be able to explain our hours, because I don't think we've actually covered that. So the service is available from 5 p.m. Monday to Friday until 9 a.m. the next morning, as well as over the whole weekend. So from Friday night 5 p.m. until Monday morning, 9 a.m, the service is available. We usually have got capacity because we've got 2 staff on at any given time, where if we have to go out and do a response to a particular client in a particular location, such as a motel, and then we'll get another call coming in, it's just about of organising to see the second referral like an hour later or an hour and a half later. So we've definitely got the capacity to be able to go out there. It's just about triaging that and coordinating how we do that on any given night or any given day.
Great. And is there anything else you'd like to add to tell us the workers about the service, Maria?
If you're unsure about anything, there's no problem with giving the phone number a call. We do also can provide the same sort of service, but particularly over business hours as well. If there is a client that's located in a motel, for example, or if there's a need to do a bit of a secretary consultation in terms of what supports are available overnight, or whether we might have the capacity or whether it's an appropriate referral for the overnight staff, there's no problems with ringing our business hours duty line to have that secondary consultation if you need a bit of advice and not sure whether it's an appropriate service to refer into.
That's terrific. Thanks heaps for your time today, Maria, and for being able to tell workers about the after-hours service so that they understand that piece of the puzzle of the service system.
You're welcome, Robin. Thank you.